So here from our BlackBerry Sweden office to share everything you need to know about developing for both the BlackBerry Z10 and the BlackBerry Q10, please welcome Johan Larsby.
Hello.
Johan.
Hi, Chris.
How are you doing? So in your role as a developer experience guru,
Thank you.
one of the unenviable tasks you had was to take all of our samples, we have many, many open source samples in Cascades, and bring them over to the Q10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like an epic battle. How was it?
Well, as epic battles goes, it was pretty uneventful.
Okay.
And to be fair, we gave the task to the new guy in the team.
Okay. All right, uneventful. I think that's what developers want to hear. So let's talk a little bit about what you need to think about as a developer when you built an application for the Z10, and now you want to get it up and running on the Q10.
Yeah. You need to do a few things. Some of the technologies we already have. We have the 9 slicing and the tileable backgrounds, and core controls, they switch sizes depending on which device you're on. And so all that comes for free. Mm-hmm. And there are some apps that we didn't have to do anything with. All
right, well, let's take a look at some of those. So you've got the Q10 simulator on the left, and you've got the Z10 simulator on the right.
This is not working well for me.
So the porting was much easier than the
porting
demo.
was easier than this.
Okay, good.
We have it up on GitHub, so if you want to change, if you want to see the diffs between the 10.1 version and the existing version, just do a diff on it, and you'll see I'm not lying about this one.
So I mean, aside from the case where you literally can take your application and run it on the Q10 and it works perfectly because you've used the core UI controls in Cascades. I know there are other cases where you may, as a developer, want to do something special on the Z10 and different on the Q10 based on the form factor. So can you tell us a little bit about an example of that? What would you have to think about if you did want a slightly different experience on the Q10?
Well, we already talked about the things that were already in there, and then we added an asset selector feature that makes you be able to switch assets depending on what resolution you have.
And so explain how that works.
Well, we're still on the computer. No, we're on here. I'm going to show you what we did first.
Okay.
So this is the same application. It's the same source code. It runs on 2 different screen sizes. And this is, for you that were here last year, we talked about our millionaire friend with the dolphin tank in his apartment. Well, he came back and he told us about a problem he had with his morning omelette chef.
Okay.
His evening omelette chef is okay, but his morning omelette chef,
okay.
He hates him. But he likes his omelettes, and he likes to micromanage which eggs he gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so very typical problem for a millionaire.
Happens. Well, you don't want to have that conversation with him. We tried, but
okay.
So what we did was we made him an egg chooser application where he can rate eggs, so that the ones that get the highest rating are the ones that goes into his omelette. So he can do that without getting up from bed.
Right.
Then he saw the launch event, and he wanted the Q device as well.
Of course.
So he calls us up and he asks us to port it. So we did. And here we have this the same application on the Q series. And as you see, we 9-sliced the frame so it fits snugly. And the star and the rating is the same, but we got rid of the keyboard because we're using the So
you're using the actual physical keyboard to do the selection rather than the keyboard on screen, so you've replaced the button. So we've got some visual elements are the same, some of them are different, some of the interaction is the same, some is different. So in terms of thinking about it in code, in the tool, what does a developer have to think about?
Well, if I
go back to the laptop? Yeah, beautiful.
So what we have here is Momentics and the all familiar view of your assets. So we added a 720 by 720 folder. You can do that as well. And the asset selector functionality chooses assets depending on your resolution. So we have two components that is defaulted to the one that's not in the 720 folder. But if you call them from your main and you're on a 720 device, it picks them up from that folder.
Perfect. So you can still keep the same core application, all the same logic, but now if you want specific assets to be picked up for the Q10, then you put them in a folder and they get automatically picked up by the framework.
Exactly.
This is great. I think developers are really going to be excited about how easy it is to take their applications and get them up on the Q10.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
All right.